Good evening, iRacers. Welcome to BSR Radical Thursday, presented by Apex Racing TV. This week we are at Road Atlanta. What a cracking circuit combination with the Radical. So many bumps, so many tricky curves. The guys are going to have a real tough time out there. So Lee Thompson with Alex Simpson bringing you the action tonight. Frantic tonight, I think, Alex, is what we're expecting.
Yeah, indeed it is. Oh, no, I forgot to update my name. So I'm Marco Barbanera for the rest of the night. But yeah, this should be interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to be a great race meeting. I love Road Atlanta, a fantastic circuit. I don't know why I hated it when I first started on the iRacing service, but I've just grown to absolutely love it. It makes for some fantastic racing. Real challenge for those drivers sort of to get comfortable with the car. Obviously, very twisty first section, hidden sort of blind apex corners, and then a massive long straight as well, leading into a really heavy braking zone. So lots of overtaking down there, lots of bumps that they're going to have some fun with in these little radicals, I think.
Yeah, and fun for sure is what we're going to be seeing for the next 3 races. So qualifying has completed. Nicole Foggy pipping Kane Halliburton to pole position. Those are our 2 top guys that we've been seeing all season long. Just over half a tenth between them. So yeah, Nicole Foggy pole position 115.142. Kane Halliburton then in second, say 600ths, nearly 700ths behind. Johnny Brandon in third. XVR teammates Nicole Foggy. Paul Crabb in fourth, with Fraser Williamson in fifth. Different name that we're seeing at the front there, so that's good to see. Sven Glatzel in sixth, with Dan Webster in seventh. Richard Warmingham in eighth, with Jack Ashton in ninth. Craig Williams 10th, with Jack McIntyre in 11th. Paul Denton in 12th position, with Josh Thompson then in 13th. Jamie Mayers then in 14th, with Matt Willett, in 15th. Jamie Ayres in 16th. Kip Stevens 17th. Robert Conley in 18th, with Lane O'Connor in 19th. Tristan Bodic in 20th, with Adam McNally in 21st. Cole Hardy 22nd. Sam Fitzpatrick 23rd. Steve Pefford in 24th, with James McRitchie in 25th. Stephen Leslie in 26th. Lorne Murray 27th, with Craig Jones in 28th. Cole Jacquelet then in 29th, and Eamon McCauley, just as the revs are starting to build, in 30th position. So revs are building there. Here comes the revs lights. Nicole Foggy is going to have inside of turn 1. Kane Halliburton in second. Foggy, we see it spinning the rear wheels. Halliburton gets straight into the slipstream with Johnny Brandon there to get in behind as well. RBX now drive in third place, going to go around the outside. Kane Halliburton, let's see, and they work their way through turn 1. And Kane Halliburton then says still in that second position.
Yeah, sure. So just focused on the top 3 cars at the moment. All good start, no issues. I'm looking a bit further back. Just as I was about to say it, no real issues, but then it's Jamie Myers just all of a sudden involved in something. A few others as well collected him. Kip Stevens is involved in that. So yeah, we've got quite a few cars, and I was talking about the bumps, and we know all full well the exit through the S's. That's a pretty hefty bump right there, and that I think is what has caused the problem.
Yeah, so some people to get to the top in fourth. Dan Webster made up 2 positions at the start so far into 5th place as they head round to the a little bit of a gap spreading out from the front line,
yeah, I think that, like I say, that pack 5th, 6th all the way down, that's pretty much they're on top of each other as well. But like I say, great start from the front runners. Foggy just starting to ease away. You can see all the guys in the pit lane at the moment as well, so quite a few involved in that as well. So looking at maybe 4 drivers involved in that. So not what we wanted to see at the start of this meeting, but hopefully that will sort of self out and drivers will settle down a little bit and we'll get some fantastic racing. But yeah, Foggy showing his class once again, this time in the Radical, and slowly pulling away from Kane. 0.6 of a second now. Johnny Brandon, of course, Nicole's teammate. We often see these guys pretty much right next to each other, and then Paul Crabb, who looks like he might have an XVR livery on as well. I believe he does.
Yeah, so the guys at the front, that's really looking strong so far. As we see Williamson and Webster, sorry, Crabb and Webster, really on top of each other there as he Webster's going to be shaping up for a move maybe through turn one. There's no braking zone for turn one, but Crabb needs to just defend slightly on the approach, and Webster just has to stand up there. So yeah, Crabb and Webster looking like Williamson is going to be joining that battle.
Denton and Ayres as well, and Ayres having a little look going into what I described as that blind sort of apex there going up the hill. That curve does not come visible until the absolute very last minute. So frustrating. You want to nail that every time to maximise the line through the S's, but it's just so tricky to do. You have to turn in absolute blind faith. And Williamson as well, I think. So yeah, issues for him. Leslie also dropping down as well. So it's just definitely recovering.
So I think, as you say, that was at turn 5 again. I think on that left-hander press of the scene. Williams Crabb behind, still striving just to keep those positions. He's still falling back down to two position areas. Damage or just getting back into it?
Yeah, I was just having a quick look at the event viewer, see if I could actually see what went on, if we can get a little replay exactly of. Oh, so.
Yeah, you've got oversteers mid to entry. Whole corner gathering up and just changing it. Yeah, with no damage to it.
Yeah, and actually, I think it was poor Fraser come off worst, and he was the one that was in control of his car all the way through there. The two cars in front of him were just lost it. So yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, we do end up packing it into turn 6.
Oh! Yeah, Craig.
And again, it's a tricky traction zone. You just come off turn 6 and try and get the car stopped at turn 7. You get the line just right, and those rears just want to light up very easily.
Oh, great battle behind.
Side, yeah. Williamson and sorry.
Williamson bodies.
Yeah, side by side. Williamson. Halliburton just closing on Foggy a little bit, very cuts to it right in the queue. So Halliburton just 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths behind now. Johnny Brandon's still keeping him honest though, keeping him pressure. I've been looking forward to this battle around Road Atlanta between Foggy and Halliburton. We didn't get to see it last week with Halliburton, with Foggy, sorry, not in attendance. But yeah, these guys are going to be cracking sharp all night long, I think. And let's see what the draft Halliburton gets to head down this massive elevator straight as they go down towards the so Halliburton got the outside line, so Foggy having to defend. And how deep is Halliburton going to be on the brakes? A really quick entry into the chicane. Halliburton carries momentum. Yeah, Foggy trying to hang on the outside. He does. Foggy's going to drive off the corner, and he's going to cut across in just before the final corner. He's no Halliburton trying to keep his nose in still. Foggy was going to get the line through the final corner. Halliburton there got inside the turn 1.
Yeah, great battle here as well. Still side by side they are.
You can see Halliburton rear stepping out as he was on the inside line. Finally had to relinquish to Foggy there. That was what, 5-6 corners that they continued side by side, and now Brandon is all over the back of Halliburton there. But yeah, great driving from the front to keep the things not a touch between them, even though the cars were trying to go sideways. Very, very close to the website. Side by side as they come through turn 6 and harder on the brakes turn 7. Webster throws up the inside. McIntyre's going to get a drive off the corner, and he's going to be looking in strong positions to come up to his turn 2.
Just seeing a little comment about you being a little quiet, Lee, so I've just pumped you up a little bit. I wonder if the guys could just give us an A-OK whether you're right, because obviously it's the first time we've been in the booth tonight, just taking over from Woody for the moment. He's over on the Sim Racers World broadcast tonight. But yeah, just give us a little shout out, guys. Let us know if that's better, or maybe it's just me that needs to turn down. Maybe I'm too loud.
So McIntyre did get that position, but now Webster's coming back at him as they come through the turn one. I don't think it's going to quite be on, so he backs out of it, and McIntyre does finally get a position absolutely confirmed. So yeah, that was built all the way from turn 6. Foggy still 2 hot tenths ahead of Halliburton. Brandon then is 6 tenths behind that. So that is looking status quo for the moment. Yeah, this battle for 5th position.
Good little battle going on further back as well. This is between Leslie and Yacolet. Just as we cut to it, they decide to split apart again.
Yeah, so Halliburton then in the draft again. He's going to have the outside again as they come to the chain. Repeat from what we saw, 2 laps ago. Halliburton got a little bit more of an overlap. So is he going to try and cut through? He's not. Foggy deeper on the brakes, but Halliburton holding that inside line again. Foggy on the outside curb. Doesn't get as good drive that time though. So he had to lift out of it, I think, before he got to the curb. So that's going to give Halliburton the spot. And defending already into turn 1. Foggy round the outside. Look at that entry speed from Foggy. Just drove straight round the outside of Halliburton. How brave is Halliburton going to be now on that blind entry, like you said? A lot later on the brakes than Foggy, but he got it stopped. Caught the line. I wonder if this one was wide. How did Foggy go around the outside of Kane Halliburton, arguably one of the top 3 quickest drivers in this series? That was unexpected. Halliburton wide.
Yeah, using all of that curb there as well. Just slow the momentum. Foggy around the outside again. See what kind of pace he's got around there, and does exactly the same again. Now, obviously, again, I'm new to the series, Lee. Here, is this a open setup series or is it fixed setup?
Big setup, default.
There you go. So no excuse for it being like set up with difference in downforce levels, something like that. You know, that's kind of what went through my head, that there is perhaps 2 completely contrasting setups out there, but clearly not the case.
Yes, that was crazy to see. Johnny Brandon now pressuring Halliburton as Halliburton pressures Foggy ahead of him. So tight now, this battle for first position between the top 3. But Foggy's just got a little bit of breathing space for a moment. And perhaps they can just have half a lap or so just to gather themselves, figure out where the next move is going to be made.
Paul Crabb trying to make some moves here, or is this Thompson actually getting past Crabb? I don't know, but they're side by side through turn 1 again.
Yeah, Thompson gets that position around the outside again of turn 1. So that outside line on turn 1 working well. It's tricky, so easy to run out of road on the exit there, especially if you haven't taken the normal racing line. And Thompson just twitching a little bit under power at the start of the there as well, but holds it together as we see him come through that tricky turn 5 up over the crest. See how much wider Crabb was on exit as well, and like Alex said, he just lost that bit of momentum and see him dropping back in the camera shot. Ooh, just a little bit of rear locking from Thompson, I think, on entry into turn 7 there as well. I thought Crabb might get a good run in on an exit, but here we go now. Draft effect is kicking in. Thompson holding the inside line as close as you can. Crabb's going to have to go outside. How brave are they going to be on the brakes? Well, Crabb's already got the overlap. Thompson has to tuck in. Is he going to dive back out again before the break? As he does, takes that inside line. Thompson, can he get it stopped? Oh, contact between the 2 of them. Crabb might get a slowdown penalty there for cutting the inside, which would be really unfortunate. Thompson gets a position, and yeah, Crabb suddenly backing off. Crabb got a slowdown penalty. That was very, very unfortunate for him there, as Thompson just couldn't quite keep the car together on the chicane.
So I'm still playing around with sound levels. Thank you very much for the guys just helping us out there as well. Like I say, first one in the series, and yeah, I should have done a tester before we went live, but here we are. We'll get it figured out. The settings saved for future weeks. But, yeah, our closest battles now really are at the front. This top 3, very much, yeah, all go really. So I feel like Brandon may be looking to see if he can get past Halliburton here and try and support his teammate, give him a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of like a wingman situation, try and help him as we get towards the business side of this race as well, so over the halfway stage.
Yeah, we can see Brandon closing that a little bit down the straight there, but of course Halliburton having the toe himself, it wasn't enough. They've got a 3.5 second gap or so to Sven Glatzel and Dan Webster, or sorry, Sven Glatzel behind. So they've got the space to have this battle and operate. Yeah, we're into the sort of second third of the race already. So they've had the time already to figure out, you know, again, where are they strong, where are they opponents weak, where is the moves going to be made. You've seen how Foggy can just drive around the outside of Halliburton. No doubt that's going to play a part in Halliburton deciding on his move. He wants to make sure that Foggy's not going to have the way back. I just feel like Halliburton's dropped back a little bit more now as well. Yeah, 7.5 tenths back. So he had maybe a tough opening half of the lap there.
The biggest movers, you've got Eamon Macaulay there up 13, a bit further down in 17th at the moment. James McRitchie up 11 spots in 14th as well. So we've got a few drivers that have made a lot of places. Craig Jones up 10, Leslie as well up 10. So yeah, a few drivers in double figures, and I don't think that's necessarily easy to do in this car. Yeah, for the few times that I've raced it, so it's not the easiest to make those kind of moves. Oh, second place Halliburton around. Just got the rear end a little bit loose on the way in, just perhaps a bit too much speed. Broke away, and yeah, well, 1-2 for XVR then.
Yeah, it looks like XVR has got the 1-2 secured if they can just bring it home now. As you say, absolutely called by Alex. They just lost control. Did Halliburton on the rear on sort of entry to mid corner. So it's such a what looks like a tight chicane as you approach it is it's a very high entry speed still in second gear to that first part of the chicane. But Halliburton just pushed the limits a little bit too hard. And once this car starts to go in this Radical, it's going to be very, very tricky to gather it back up again. Fortunately, not getting more damage and not make contact with the wall or another car.
Oh, someone around. Yeah. That is Jack Ashton, I believe. Some problems. Worth pointing out as well that I did speak to Kip Stevens, and he should have informed the whole league that we were switching over to trading paints for the rest of the season. So if there are a few liveries out there that are missing, get them on trading paints. They will appear. Had the word from the league, so yeah, we have done as been told, just in case there are a few that are missing. Get them on there. You can upload them during the break, and I'm sure it will appear as well for race number 2.
Yeah, so as you say, that top 3 battle now has broken well apart. Halliburton hanging into that 3rd spot, but with Dan Webster in pretty close company with Sven Glatzel as well. So that's looking like that could continue to develop a little bit later into the race. Otherwise, Craig Williams just 8 tenths, 7 tenths ahead of Paul Crabb in 9th as we see him going through turn 1.
Little battle here as well. You can just see Bodice appear on the left. Ashton, McRitchie not far behind them as well. Nice little 3-car battle.
And again, that's yet another outside move that we've seen on turn 1 there. So that working really well for the guys so far today. No view at all of the track ahead really for Ashton with the car in front through this crested section. So difficult just to pick your spots. There we go. I was just about to say, so difficult to pick your braking spots as Ashton nearly drives straight into the back of McRitchie there, loses another spot as well, and fortunately for both the guys to get away with it.
Yeah, thanks very much, says McRitchie, as Ashton makes the mistake there. So yeah, fortunately everyone survives, no real issues. So he'll be able to maybe mount a challenge. Got just 3.5 minutes of the race to go. So said it was the business end a minute ago, but most definitely is now. Sven Glatzel, didn't realise Sven was running in the series. Nice to see him in there in top 5, up 1 spot. He's 7 tenths of a second behind Dan Webster at the moment, with Richard Warmingham about half a second back. So maybe this little trio will slowly form up as well in the next couple of minutes, and we'll have sort of a last lap showdown.
Yeah, certainly looks like it could do. Last time round, Dan Webster 16.4, Glatzel 16.9. and Warmingham 16.7. So yeah, so Warmingham and Glatzel could well end up in a little battle here, and we'll see if Webster can keep that pace and just stay ahead of the 2 behind. as they head onto the back straight for what can only be the penultimate time maybe.
Seeing if there's any real, looking at the sort of battle box, not really anything, nothing really happening. So, yeah, let's see if we get a run this time. So.
Yeah, so here we go. I think Richie is going to get a run. We see the back damage on the back of Bodic's car as well as they head down the back straight. I'm surprised that actually Richie hasn't gained more already, but there we go. Bodic, as you can see, has got the toe of another car behind. Back marker letting him through. Is Richie going to have a dive up the inside? He is. Who's going to be the latest and bravest on the brakes? Richie goes inside very early, slow apex, and yeah, has to give it up. So yeah, good effort on the brakes, but just gave himself a very narrow track to turn in from by sort of drifting to the left side.
Yeah, Bodic's just sort of stuck his line. I think sometimes the outside is the better line through there because you get the inside for the next corner. It's just whether or not you're forced out wide enough and you lose that momentum. I think that's the key thing really. If you're on the inside, is you've just got to run the driver tight to the outside, haven't you? So that they're very slow up the hill, and that gives you the sort of the boost you need to get around them into before the start-finish line.
Webster Glatzel looking close, less than 10th. Here we go. So side by side then, and Glatzel moves ahead of Webster up into 4th spot as they head into the chicane. Yeah, Webster didn't seem to, he had the inside line, but didn't have a big dive up the inside. And yeah, Glatzel looked pretty much under control there. But here's Webster coming back now, a little bit of a slow final corner from Glatzel, and really surprised for Webster just to drive straight past him. Is Glatzel going to take that outside line that we've been seeing? There we go, running out of road. And Webster and Warmingham follows him through. That was exactly what I was talking about before. That outside line on turn 1's been working well, but it is so tricky just to run out of road on the outside, and Glatzel was lucky that all he did was get up on the curve and not touch the grass.
Yeah, survives, and he can have a little run. This definitely will be the final lap of the race. Let's have a quick look, see how our leader is getting on. Because, looking pretty comfortable out there in the end. 2 seconds gap off his teammate. I do feel like Johnny perhaps got held up a little bit when Alberton just lost it ahead of him, and has just sort of maintained that gap. Although, all of a sudden, Foggy is slowing down.
So I think they're just going for a photo finish. I don't think there's many issues with fuel or anything like that. But yeah, here they come, final corner then. Foggy and Brandon, are we going to see him side by side? Photo finish over the line, we do. Very nicely done, boys. Ken Halliburton then coming across in 3rd. And here's our battle then for 4th, 5th, 6th. Webster looks like he's got it sewn out. Glatzel got Warmingham then whilst we were away. He recovered one of his spots at least from that lap 4. And here we go, 12, 13, 14, 3 wide into the chicane. Close your eyes, pray. McRitchie, latest and bravest on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? He can. Bodic could well have a good run. He does. Gets cut back on the inside. Can he hold into that inside line? If he can, he's got a slip. Ashton. And McRitchie just about gets a drive off the final corner ahead of Bodic. Yeah, McRitchie, who was it? The other driver hanging on for dear life over Jack Ashton, sorry. Just couldn't quite keep it together for that extra, 25, 30 metres to get to the finish line, unfortunately.
Summed up, Jack. I think the thing is, he had probably the best one of them all. He had an opportunity to get them both. The car ahead got a little twitch, and then he twitched as well, and then, yeah. Like I said, that just summed up his race, I think, right there.
So what a frantic end to our 20-minute race for Radicals around Road Atlanta. Nicole Foggy winning from lights to flag. Looked easy by the end, but that was a tough battle in the middle of a race there with those top 3 guys all just within a second of each other. And we saw, Halliburton and Foggy, side by side for nearly half a lap or so one time. So good effort from the guys. Unfortunate for everyone who had little issues. It's so easy to just get little twitches in this car and struggle to get it back up again.
Indeed, just waiting for the final classifications to come in. Thanks very much for obviously sticking with us. Don't worry, we've got 2 more races with us as well. We've got a reverse grid to spin, so don't run off. I see a couple of people thanking, and heading out. So stay with us. Get you the results. We'll reverse this grid, and then we'll go at it again. We'll watch the guys coming through from the back, and we'll see some great action. But here we go. Have now got the official results available and up on screen.
And so, as we said then, Nicole Foggy taking that photo finish from his teammate Johnny Brandon, showing a 10th.5 gap between them, but really it was, what, 2-3 seconds coming on to the final lap. Kane Halliburton then did take that third position, a bit lonely in the end. Dan Webster survived the attack from Sven Glatzel a lap earlier to finish in 4th, just 3 tenths ahead of Sven Glatzel in 5th. Richard Warmingham then in 6th with Josh Thompson in 7th, Craig Williams 8th with Paul Crabb in 9th, Paul Denton 10th with Fraser Williamson in 11th, James McRitchie in 12th with Tristan Bodic in 13th, Steve Hefford 14th with Jack Ashton. We see having that issue at the end there in 15th. In 16th place was Eamon Macaulay with 17th Sam Fitzpatrick, 18th was Craig Jones, 19th Stefan Leslie, 20th Cole Hardy, 21st Cole Jacquelet, 22nd Jamie Ayres, 23rd was Jack McIntyre, and 24th was Adam McNally, 25th Robert Plumley with 26th Lorne Murray, 27th Kip Stevens, 28th Matt Willett, 29th Jamie Mayers, 30th was Lane O'Connor, and 31st is Trevor Blackburn.
Well, first race in, a few little issues sorted, so I'm happy with that. And we saw some good racing. Looking forward to what race 2 and race 3 are going to be. So we'll get that wheel up in just a second and see exactly who's going to have to fight their way through and how many are going to have to fight through. Now, I'm looking at this wheel. It's not as large as I've seen. I mean, there's obviously the full and the -5. But yeah, I'm used to seeing 30s and all sorts. Now, I appreciate the grid's only 30, so it needs to be fair in that sense. But yeah,
and it'll only be cars that are 1 lap down or better who will qualify for a reverse grid as well.
Of course. Right, let's give it a spin. Let's see who it's going to be. Pretty reasonable spin. It's going on for a while. Looking like it's going to be 20th. I can't see it reaching 15th, and indeed doesn't. Bang in the 20th, in the middle of the 20th segment. So who will that be, Lee?
20th place was Carl Hardy.
Carl Hardy, the pole then on race number 2 of the night. So yep, stick with us. We'll be back here on Apex Racing TV, and yeah, I'm looking forward to race number 2. Sorry, Lee, just took over with the ending there. But yeah, we've got your little track guide coming up as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing your take on it.
Lee Thompson here, bringing you another Radical Hot Lap as part of our build-up to the BSR Radical Thursday tonight. This week we're at Road Atlanta. What a roller coaster of a circuit this is, and in this Radical SR8 it really does struggle on these undulations, on these rough curves. It's a tricky one to survive a lap. So here we are starting our lap then, turn 1 coming up ahead. It's going to be just a quick dab on the brakes down into 5th gear. The rear is going to want to step out a little bit as you turn in, and hard on the power, letting it run out wide. This blind entrance into turn 3, so tricky, down into 2nd, clamber all over inside curb, and try and just feather the throttle ever so slightly to keep the rear in check initially on power. Flat then through the rest of the sequence, through the S's, down into 3rd gear, again struggling on those bumpy curves. Look how much the car is moving around over the crest as well. Next up then we've got turn 6, so down into 3rd gear, turning fairly early and just use that camber to carry the car around. Down into 2nd, I struggled on this corner all day long, just understeer really turning in, so I lost a couple of attempts on this particular lap. And now this is your first moment on the whole lap just to have a little breath as we're on the longest straight of the circuit, and you've got all this time just to decide how aggressive you're going to be into the final chicane. So here we go then, chicane's coming into view. My braking point's just at the white line here, hard on the brakes, down into 2nd, but actually carry a lot of entry speed, clamber all over both the curbs, and again just trying to control the rear of the car over this crest. It's going to want to step out on you, completely flat all the way then back to the line, and that is a lap completed. 1 minute 16.1 for me on that one. I found it really tricky to get a clean lap in here with the car trying to spit you off on every curb and every crest. I think we're going to see big differences between those who can bang a lap in qualifying and get on the sharp end of grid, and those maybe coming from behind who can get consistent clean laps in the race. So let's find out tonight. BSR Radical Thursday, 8:15 on Apex Racing TV. Evening iRacers, welcome back to race 2 of the BSR Radical Thursday series from Road Atlanta this week. Lee Thompson here with Alex Simpson, bringing you the action again. We've got just a few minutes left until start of race 2 here, and what a thrilling race that was. Great battle we saw through most of it between Foggy, Halliburton and Brandon.
Yeah, top three, very, very close. Obviously Halliburton having his little mistake sort of towards the final part of the race. Really sort of, killed it with a bit of an anticlimax. But this one I think is going to be interesting to see how all three work their way through the pack. Of course, Halliburton, because he was behind, has the advantage going into this one. So those guys have got to catch him up and try and get past him. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see exactly who can work their way through the traffic.
Yeah, that traffic is going to be a real issue, I think, around here. So it's a tight circuit in a lot of sections of it, and yeah, tricky if you end up offline, maybe like through the S's, through turn sort of 6 and 7 as well, perhaps. So I think patience is going to be key to the guys trying to move their way through, and let's hope that we don't have any big incidents that cause any big pile-ups at the start. Yeah, the warm-up session is finishing up, so the cars are going to be gridding up shortly, and we can get going again for this 20-minute race for race 2, as we said. Cole Hardy, as we said, is going to have pole position. It's going to be interesting to see how long he can defend that. So yeah, starting grid is going to be Cole Hardy from P1, Stefan Leslie then in 2nd, Craig Jones in 3rd with Sam Fitzpatrick up in 4th position, Eamon McCauley then in 5th with Jack Ashton in 6th, Steve Hefford in 7th with Tristan Bodic in 8th, James McRitchie in 9th with Fraser Williamson in 10th, Paul Denton in 11th with Paul Crabb in 12th, Craig Williams 13th with Josh Thompson in 14th, Richard Warmingham in 15th with Sven Glatzel in 16th, Dan Webster in 17th with Kane Halliburton in 18th, Johnny Brandon in 19th, and then race 1 winner Nicole Foggy in 20th, Cole Jacquelet 21st, Jamie Ayres 22nd, Jack McIntyre 23rd, Robert Plumley 24th. Lorne Murray 25th, Kip Stevens 26th, Matt Willett 27th, and we got a green light unexpectedly early, and Cole Hardy then off the line with Sam Fitzpatrick in 2nd, Craig Jones and Stefan Leslie going back and forth, switching positions already as they barrel into turn 1.
Oh, it doesn't look good. Oh, just a couple. Hold your brake, hold your brake. Oh, jeez. Did just enough. Could have had an almighty crash there, but we somehow managed to avoid it. Yeah, and we're away. I'm looking forward to this one. Much cleaner. It was this corner, wasn't it, on the last race? Couple of people slow through here. Let's hope everybody else gets through. We're not going to have 5 or 6 retirees on that one. It looks pretty good, Lee.
Yeah, good job from the guys surviving through that tricky start. And Sam Fitzpatrick has come out on top, gaining 3 positions from the start in 1st place. Cole Hardy then in 2nd, Craig Jones in 3rd.
Yeah, good job from Sam. I didn't see where Sam got the move done, but yeah, he's up, through, and actually front 2 scampering away, and it's, from 4th place back, it's looking pretty mental. And yeah, oh, a couple of cars side by side going through the chicane as well.
Yeah, Sven Glatzel gaining 11 positions off the start already as well. That looks pretty crazy as they thunder back down the start, finish straight again down into turn 2. So yeah, Fitzpatrick from Hardy, from Jones, from Ashton, Sven Glatzel, from Hefford, from Williamson, Thompson, Denton, and then Craig Williams bringing out the top 10. I'm just fiddling with cameras again, I'm afraid.
No problem. How do you gain 11 places on an opening lap, when the people around you have all made some spots as well? That's just incredible. So Sven, pretty sure it's maybe the same bug again, is it, Lee, with the you having to do the control F12 just so it doesn't get locked on a specific camera?
Are you remote connected to my computer? Did you see me just go F12 and turn it off? Right, so Sven Glatzel then we're seeing under lots of pressure with Jones in front, so he's looking to gain an extra spot as well as they drive off of turn 7 and having this long slipstream opportunity down the front straight. Same for Williamson and Hefford as well as they head down there. So we're going to see a few moves being made, I think, into the chicane here. And so I see up ahead, Glatzel has got that position on Jones. So Glatzel up into 4th, and yeah, Hefford as well, looking like he was doing well. Halliburton in trouble again.
Yeah, and I think that's going to allow Foggy past him as well. We wondered how long it would take if he would even get past him, but that little slip up there, and it's cost Halliburton. He's just not enjoying that part of the circuit, whatever it is around there. Just not entirely comfortable, and yeah, he's give that place up to Foggy, and now yeah, got his work cut out to try and get back past him. I have no doubts.
Yeah, so that was unfortunate there for Halliburton. As you say, it was a clear opportunity for him to lead Foggy through the pack as they fought their way through, but easy position gained, as we're going to have another change position on the exit of turn 5 as well, just as we cut away. But Jones and Thompson, Williamson all were looking very, very tight through turn 6 and 7, clambering up on the curbs as Jones there as well. I wonder if Thompson behind is just going to get the run a little bit on exit there.
Yeah, I think that was Williamson getting a move done on Jones there on the exit of what was the final corner of the S's, and yeah, pretty tasty here as well between that is Denton, Foggy, Halliburton there as well. Halliburton looking to try and get straight past as well and follow Foggy through the pack. I think he needs to. Has he got a bit of damage on his front? Left someone around. That's Fraser Williamson around. Not quite sure what happened there. Let's see if we can't get a little replay of that back, because he looked clear. He was clear, exactly that. Is he going to get T-boned or something like that, or is he just going to lose it? No, he just loses it on his own. Oh, fortunately, he doesn't get collected. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, looked like he locked the rears very, very early in entry there as well, so just way too hot going in as he was trying to defend. As we see Warmingham is it off track through the S's, recovering back on, so he's going to have a slowdown penalty that he is gradually serving as he works his way up. So he's just lost himself a few spots. Oh, look at this pack going down towards turn 6.
Teammates side by side, Foggy and Brandon. I see I've got a lot of respect for each other, I'm sure, but how much are they going to fight each other? Well, I think right now we've got Brandon boxed in. There's nothing he can do, is there? So going to have to wait for Foggy to get the run on Hefford, who's a front over him.
Yeah, but Brandon there not got the slipstream for the first half of the straight there, so he really ended up losing out to Foggy. Foggy goes up the inside as they head towards the chicane. He's going to get moved done on Hefford. He's just boxed in a little bit again from the car in front. Oh, car in front spins, pirouettes beautifully out the way, and Foggy going to have a run on Hefford as they come towards the final corner. He's going to go up the inside. That
was Craig Jones that went for a little spin there as well.
Brandon following him straight through as well. Hefford losing 2 spots. Can Hefford hang around the outside in turn 1?
Thompson just put the fastest lap of the race.
Halliburton as well.
Yeah,
so those front 3 guys,
they are quick, aren't they? Yeah, totally.
They're just bullying their way straight through, aren't they?
Hefford's no slouch. You know, in the MX-5, he's like probably one of the fastest drivers we've sort of seen in the BSR series. So perhaps not quite at one with the car here, but still a very, very quick driver. So just to, like you say, just to get bullied by all 3 there. And by just goes to show you how much these guys are really enjoying this car and how quick they are in it.
Yeah, really showing that sort of clean move that the confidence that they had in the car just to make those moves. Halliburton gets a good exit coming off turn 7 there. I wonder how much he's going to be able to pressure Brandon ahead, who of course has got the slipstream of the cars in front of him as well. Fitzpatrick still leading from Ashton. Glatzel now up into 3rd whilst moving away.
Oh, maybe a changer for the lead as Ashton goes through into the chicane. And yeah, Jack Ashton, nice move, nice and clean, simply done. Used the draft, got the brake in nailed. Sam didn't sort of defend it too hard. I think it's probably sensible from Sam, because he knows that he can fight back. That's still looking very, very strong as well. Up 13 places now, and right on the tail of our leaders.
Yeah, so good job from Ashton there after we saw his error on the final lap of the previous race. We've heard from Fitzpatrick before that his goal for the series is just to really play the percentages, and he's really not going to put up too much of a fight when he feels like he's not wide ahead. Here, lots of tyres splitting there. We wondered if Ashton, I think we're going to see in the barrier ahead, but everyone comes out cleanly. But yeah, sideways there, I think, was Ashton.
Yeah, Thompson catching up as well. And of course, Thompson, like I said, he set the fastest lap of the race just gone. So he's very, very quick. So this front 4 is going to be interesting. It's not going to take too much longer, I think, before we see Brandon and Foggy. It's worth pointing out, actually, that Foggy's dropped down. I wonder if we can see if I can't find what happened to Nicole there, because yeah, it's past him. This will be where Brandon got past the
got boxed in.
teammate.
So Foggy nearly going into the back of the car ahead through the final corner. Had to really get out of it, lost his line. Halliburton doing a great job of just following Brandon straight through. Oh, a little touch on exit as well. And that's Foggy down those 2 spots. So yeah, I think just Foggy just got caught out of a difference in speed between him and the car in front coming up to the final corner, I think.
Good stuff. What we want to see. And they're still going at it as we cut back live as well. And this is Williams and Kane having a good old ding-dong out there as well. Williams holds on for the moment, but I think it's only going to be a matter of time. Brandon, it's his opportunity to try and break away from these guys, see if he can't break that draft and get at the guys in ahead, try and catch the leaders as well. Foggy up the inside.
Foggy going up the inside, yeah. Shoves it straight in there. Halliburton can't hang on at all, so Foggy gets that move done nice and clean. Halliburton a little bit deeper on brakes into turn 7, but nothing happening, no problems at all. Sven Glatzel, whilst we've been away, has moved up into 2nd position now, so he's challenging Jack Ashton as we head down the back straight towards the chicane. Glatzel then on the outside, Ashton on the inside. Glatzel's going to drive straight by him before the braking zone. Can he cut in front? He can. Nice clean move, all done on the draft and on the drive out of turn 7. So Sven Glatzel then 15 positions gained, 1st place, driving away.
Yeah, Thompson gets the run as well. Ashton didn't get the best of runs coming out of the chicane, and all of a sudden Thompson up and into 2nd place. So Glatzel's got his hands full. Ashton will want to just try and hold on to these guys if he can. I wonder if Fitzpatrick can get back up towards Ashton as well. He needs to get a move on. There's some quick guys coming up behind. He's a right little gaggle. Look at that, just about 1 second back from him as well. And that's led by Carl Hardy. Then you've got Dan Webster, Johnny Brandon's there already, Craig Williamson.
Josh Thompson's got Glatzel, sorry.
Oh, wow. Look away for a second, and what happens? Let's see if we can't get that back on a replay as well.
So I think that must have been through the S's or through turn 5 at the top there, I think was what we're going to see.
Yeah, was it a mistake from Sven? Did he get out of shape? Oh, he did, just a little wiggle, and that was why all of a sudden it happened.
Did very, very well to gather it back up and not end up in the wall. So tricky there to gather it up with continuing bumps up ahead as well. Brandon and Foggy and Webster side by side. Foggy's back ahead of Halliburton, so Halliburton's had a problem as how did all 3 of those cars get through that first section of the chicane together there? But Foggy on the inside of Williams still trying to get through as they come through the final corner. Halliburton's got a great run off that corner as well. He's going to try and follow Foggy straight through on the inside. Is Williams going to cut the corner? If he does, so Halliburton can't quite get that spot done. So yeah, Brandon's not really managing to scamper away from Foggy and Halliburton. He's still just a couple of cars up the road. But yeah, these guys are making this one long continuous train all the way from 1st place.
Great shot actually as they snake through the S's that you see on the mini-map, that section that we just saw. And yeah, the race has just sort of broken up into lots of sort of chunky packs, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, it has. Brandon very, very lucky that Webster didn't go into the back of him there. It looks so close on entry to turn 7. Everyone got away with it. Yeah, like I say, we've got one huge pack at the front of the field, and then yeah, just a couple of half-sized ones further down. Yeah, this reverse grid is working out nicely, drawing everyone together at the front.
Yeah, this is what we want. This is what reverse grids are. Oh, great battle ahead when they're just absolutely epic. And yeah, for the lead then, so Glatzel not wanting to give up this lead at all. And yeah, well, Ashton looking to see if he can capitalise on their battle and get himself back to the sharp end.
Yeah, so the top 3 are really backing themselves up into that pack. So a minute ago they were a second and a half, 2 seconds down the road, but not anymore. Ashton falling back. Ashton's had an entry issue, going into turn 3, so he's falling all the way down to 10th now.
Yeah, I think he was on the outside, wasn't he, there? And it's not the place to be in that blind corner, I have to say. You're always the man that's going to get pushed off wide. I've been there many a time, and you just know it's coming. You know, you just don't want to do it. The last time for me was the BSR TC. I don't know why I managed to get myself placed out there, but I was like, oh. And exactly that, I did that. So easy to for the opponents on the inside just to run you out wide there.
And talking about knowing what's coming, I think Fitzpatrick knows what's coming now as the trainer cars behind all dive out from his slipstream. Brandon, Webster and Foggy all looking to get by in this single corner. Fitzpatrick's already lost 2 spots. Webster around the outside of Brandon, but Brandon later on the brakes. Can he get it slowed down enough? He can. So Brandon makes that spot. Webster follows him through. Fitzpatrick stays ahead of Foggy for the moment, but Brandon all of a sudden up into P3.
Yeah, good moves through this field. Got half a second to catch up on Glatzel. Glatzel still not trying to give up on the win with Thompson as well. They were side by side. I saw it just while we were watching that battle. It's going to be interesting. Brandon just pops himself into the view while we're up in the chopper. You know, just like a shark, isn't he? Stalking his prey right now, just gradually getting closer. You know, cue the Jaws music.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking that way. Like I say, the top 3 guys from the previous race are really working their way through here as we see Fitzpatrick and Foggy. Foggy on the outside. Is he going to get the drive off the corner? He does. And so Fitzpatrick's going to struggle to keep Williams behind him as well as they work their way down the back straight. Yeah, Williams already moving out, in fact. Fitzpatrick, though, going to have a draft, so he might just about hold on. Yeah. Now you can see that effect.
Yeah, and actually might even have a run back at Nicole. Go on, Sam, send it up the inside, son.
So Foggy takes the inside. Fitzpatrick, good. He goes for it round the outside into this first part. Gets full on second, but Foggy just barely kept his nose in. So Fitzpatrick couldn't cover the position. Is Foggy going to go around the outside into the final corner? Holds it line. Nice run.
Oh, here we go. 3 wide.
Williams is going to make it 3 wide onto the inside of turn 1. Fitzpatrick backs out of it. Foggy is sticking well and truly with it. Holds the position. Williams makes 1. Fitzpatrick, maybe common sense told him just to back out of that a little bit, and everyone got through safely. What a nice little sequence of corners that was. Yeah,
it was indeed. I think he had the right idea, Sam. He actually got the better run out of all 3, but unfortunately he had nowhere to go, did he? So he couldn't do anything with it. That was unfortunate. But yeah, good to see Sam giving him some stick out there.
So that little battle there has just given Foggy, 9/10, 1 second to close if he wants to get back with the lead pack. Top 4 cars now, Thompson, Glatzel, Brandon, Webster. Yeah, 8 and 9/10 ahead of Foggy. So let's see how quickly that draws back in. We have lost Halliburton. Halliburton's down to 12th, so Halliburton's had an issue and has dropped back from this lead fight.
Let's see if I can find what that was all about, because I think a lot of that may be to do with that damage that he's got on that front left. But here's a replay. Think of what happened.
He's all on his own.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just lost
an entry.
Death wiggle. Nothing worse. Do hate that.
I mean, we've seen such great pace from both. 2 cars off.
That's
Glatzel and Webber. No, just Glatzel. Yeah, I'm not sure who the other one was. But yeah, both of them were. Webster falling back now as well. Sorry, yeah, it was Glatzel and Webster. Just the timing took a little bit of time to update Webster.
Look at that.
Got tagged by Brandon, I guess, going through turn 1, and contact between the 2 teammates as well coming back. Looked like Glatzel had no control of it there. So unfortunate, didn't look like an unsafe region and just did not have control. Brandon all of a sudden up into 2nd. Foggy puts that in 3rd place. Thompson then has got 2 laps, maybe squeezing a 3rd lap if he wants to try and hold these 2 XVR drivers off from getting their 2nd or 1-2 in a row. Brandon, though, already on in less than a 10th. Here we go. Thompson on the inside, Brandon on the outside. Are we going to see that same move through the chicane? Thompson deeper on the brakes. Foggy just getting in a little tangle almost. Williams on entry. They get away with it. No changes in position.
In that state it is, I think. One thing for sure, it's going to be difficult to get by Thompson. He's extremely good on the brakes and might have a little bit of pace advantage, but going to have to do it where it counts.
Interestingly, on that last lap, fastest guy of the top runners was Sam Fitzpatrick with 16.0. The lead guys battling away were high 16s. So it just shows how much that squabbling is affecting the guys. And we can see Fitzpatrick just at the back of the pack there, keeping a close eye on the vents ahead. These XVR guys are looking like they're going to get a good shout at their 1-2 already. Brandon locks up going into turn 6, almost takes Foggy with him then as he come in. Not quite sure how that happened. Didn't look like Brandon got overly close to Thompson and for like a panic moment or stamping on the brakes. But yeah, big wiggle, big lockup going in. Got away with it. Got an excellent exit as well as a back marker. Gets well and truly out of the way on approach. Brandon already got the overlap. Thompson has to cut back in. Is he going to be able to dive back out again in time? Carl's wiggling behind as well. Thompson on the outside. Foggy so late and deep on the brakes. Thompson pushing Brandon out wide. Foggy's got the inside. Ooh, Foggy Brandon through the final corner. Who's going to relinquish as they come onto the front straight? Brandon just about got the run, got the overlap. Fortunate for the guys there for a little bit of contact not to cause further problems.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick again having a little look. I think he's best just to wait and see what happens. I reckon we haven't seen the last of people falling off this circuit, as that was very close as well. And
so Williams got the move from Foggy.
Yeah, great move from unexpected Craig. So you've got to take these opportunities when they arise. And Nicole, that's the last thing he wanted. He had an opportunity for a couple of wins on the bounce, but I think that's drifting away very quickly right now. Back up the inside he goes, using the camber of that corner to still carry the speed. Can't get it done. And Craig needs to get a good exit here because he's not really got the draft anymore. 1 second is the gap, Brandon. Lee, you'll probably know better than I will. What sort of gap do you need until you broke the draft in this car?
Yeah, I think we're looking at second and a half or so for it to really come off completely. But we've seen the difference there that Foggy was able to use that draft to pull himself back alongside. A bit of locking of brakes behind there between Foggy and Williams as well. Foggy has got that spot. Williams has to tuck back in, but yeah, that slipstream was enough of a gap ahead to cause Foggy to get the overlap.
Final lap then. Here in race number 2 of the night. BSR Radicals at Road Atlanta. It's been an absolute cracker so far, and I have to say I don't think we can call it at this point. Josh looking very strong in the final chicane. Brandon having another little go that last lap, but wasn't able to. A little bit of a gap as well. So yeah, he's going to have to. Brandon's going to have to nail this couple of corners just to be able to get close enough to get a run. Foggy's the one that looks actually closer to his teammate. Does Foggy want to send one up the inside of his teammate on the final lap?
Yeah, it was crazy how quickly Foggy's managed to bridge that little bit of a gap that developed at the end of the last lap. He's right on the gearbox now, as you say, Alex, of Brandon. Final lap back straight. Thompson's got half a second. What's going to happen to the draft as they come through? Here comes Foggy on Brandon. Is it going to be 3 wide by the time they get to the chicane? I think it might just well be. Here they come. XVR guys both on him. One on the outside, one stuck behind. Brandon on the outside gets the position back from Foggy. Thompson, no, still comes out in front. Foggy going to get the cutback? Not quite, I don't think. Josh Thompson defending from those guys powering through the field. Takes the win. Cracking job. Brandon ahead of Foggy from Williams from Fitzpatrick. Yeah, great job from Josh Thompson there. I thought the XVR guys were going to bully their way through.
Yeah, I thought it might do as well. But yeah, Josh absolutely pins it on the white line. Doesn't have any opportunity. And I think actually the fact that it was 2 teammates kind of made a difference because they were, they didn't want to get a little bit too close to each other there. So yeah, sensible driving. Good finish between Stevens and Bottas as well, which is sort of the end of that. And I think that was Plumley and McIntyre coming through there as well. That was very close. Yeah, on a few drivers finishing up.
You see how hard the guys were pushing there on the last lap. Fastest lap of race for Foggy and Williams on that final lap. That's quite a feat whilst they were battling away. It's not like they had clean air to work with. So yeah, what an effort from the guys.
Yeah, cracking race. Really enjoyed that. That's what I come here for. Watch some of that. Same again, please, guys, for the final race of the night. Just waiting for those final few. In fact, who are we waiting for right now? Lorne Murray's just come across the line. We've got somebody out there that hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, Eamon McCulley, I think, perhaps still pootling around.
Oh no, it is Macaulay. Sorry, Murray. Going on with him. Let's have a look. Is it severe damage? Yeah, that car is pretty
uneven
bad.
rear wing, and you can see his thoughts about that as he does a four-wheel lock over the line to finish up a race.
Well, of course, he's got a chance of a reverse grid now, so worth finishing, and that's why the drivers do stick out there and try and finish the races off. Of course, they score points if they're only 1 lap down or less, 2 laps down and above, and you don't score any points. So yeah, it makes sense. He's got the points and he's got the chance to reverse grid. And of course, you know, if you get lucky at the start and there's a big battle or something like that, you can break away. And I've seen people do that. So you know, it's it does pay to stick it out. Right, get the final standings up. Let me just retrieve the results. Sorry, a bit tardy. Here we go then.
So Josh Thompson taking that win from Johnny Brandon, Nicole Foggy second and third. Craig Williams in fourth with Sam Fitzpatrick in fifth. Jack Ashton didn't finish. We got a problem, I think, with our order here. That doesn't look quite right. Maybe it was. Jack Ashton in sixth. Kane Halliburton in seventh. Paul Denton in eighth. Steve Hefford in ninth. Sven Glatzel in 10th. Paul Crabb in 11th with Matt Willett in 12th. Kip Stevens in 13th. Tristan Bodish in 14th. Robert Plumley in 15th with Jack McIntyre in 16th. Jimmy Mayers in 17th. James McRitchie in 18th. And 19th position was Jamie Ayres. And 20th place was Carl Jacquelet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You're right. That's not quite right, is it?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like something's not quite right there. So we will reserve judgment on those classified standings. Certainly the top, 3-4 cars were correct. After that, I'm not quite sure. Halliburton recovered to 7th. I mean, maybe there was issues that we missed on the last lap there that bumped him up, but he was 12th when we looked just a lap.
Yeah, we'll look at the iRacing results just to get confirmation. Any chance you can bring that up?
I'm on it.
Yeah. Let's just see if we can do that. Playing.
I don't know. Yeah, no. To be fair, iRacing agrees. Jack Ashton 6th, Kane Halliburton 7th. So perhaps there was another issue. Perhaps for Sven Glatzel, he finished. No, we saw him go off. So yeah, perhaps just we got so caught up with the lead battle, we didn't quite see how the rest of the field ended up shuffling out. So yeah, Ashton 6th, Halliburton 7th, Denton 8th, Hefford 9th, Glatzel 10th. As we said. I got to 20th, wasn't I, before I decided to pause out of uncertainty. But Lorne Murray then we saw finish in 21st. Everyone else was more than one lap down. So 22nd for Williamson, 23rd for Warmingham, Webster 24th, Hardy 25th, O'Connor 26th, McCauley 27th, Craig Jones 28th, and Stefan Leslie 29th.
Right, let's bring the wheel up then, find out who is going to be on the pole position for the final race of the night. 20th, where we ended up last time. Who's going to get it? Oh, it just ticks over to 14th. It looked like 4 minus 5 at the time, so which actually I think would have been a relatively small one. Actually, in fairness, I don't think it would have made too much difference between who finished and where we've ended up. But yeah, 14th it is, Lee.
So Tristan Bodish then taking pole position for the final race of the evening. And as we said, hopefully we get another cracking race to finish up. The guys did a good job in that first lap last time by not to have a big incident. So let's hope for the same again to finish off. Again, I think we'll probably see my hot lap just to lead us out to the adverts. And we'll see you all back in a little while for a race free. Lee Thompson here, bringing you another Radical Hot Lap as part of our build-up to the BSR Radical Thursday tonight. This week we're at Road Atlanta. What a roller coaster of a circuit this is. And in this Radical SR8, it really does struggle on these undulations, on these rough curves. It's a tricky one to survive a lap. So here we are starting our lap then. Turn 1 coming up ahead. It's going to be just a quick dab on the brakes down into 5th gear. The rear's going to want to step out a little bit as you turn in, and hard on the power, letting it run out wide. This blind entrance into turn 3, so tricky. Down into 2nd, clamber all over inside curb, and try and just feather the throttle ever so slightly to keep the rear in check initially on power. Flat then through the rest of the sequence, through the S's, down into 3rd gear, again struggling on those bumpy curves. Look how much the car is moving around over the crest as well. Next up then we've got turn 6, so down into 3rd gear, turn in fairly early and just use that camber to carry the car around. Down into second. I struggled on this corner all day long, just understeer really turning in, so I lost a couple of attempts on this particular lap. And now this is your first moment on the whole lap just to have a little breath as we're on the longest straight of the circuit, and you've got all this time just to decide how aggressive you're going to be into the final chicane. So here we go then, chicane's coming into view. My braking point's just at the white line here, hard on the brakes, down into second, but actually carry a lot of entry speed, clamber all over both the curbs, and again just trying to control the rear of the car over this crest. It's going to want to step out on you, completely flat all the way then back to the line, and that is a lap completed. 1 minute 16.1 for me on that one. I found it really tricky to get a clean lap in here with the car trying to spit you off on every curb and every crest. I think we're going to see big differences between those who can bang a lap in qualifying and get on the sharp end of grid, and those maybe coming from behind who can get consistent clean laps in the race. So let's find out tonight, BSR Radical Thursday, 8:15 on Apex Racing TV.
Fight between these two could be about to heat up in the final few moments of this one.
Now Van Buell did start on pole, but it's always going to be difficult when in a car like the BMW when you just got a little bit of a deficit. Straight line speed. Garcia going extremely well out there. Unfortunately, I have lost all the pit stop times now, so can't really see any of that information, sadly. But
I'm going to take mine with a pinch of salt as well. Got some drivers down as having stopped 11 times.
yeah.
Here it is. Vranksen coming through the Parabolica. Started on the pole, I think, -1 place.
Do you think these two are going to have a scrap at some point then? Given the fact that they're in second and third, do you think they are going to try and battle it out for the individual points? Or
well, looking at the championship standings, Vranks is second in it. He's picked up 16 points in round 1, 20 in round 2. But Dettige, on the other hand, has picked up 12 in both races, and I'm sure he might want to get a few points on the board. So we'll wait and see with this one. It's all been very civil between the two of the most immaculate cars you'll probably see in the whole field. Neither of them a bit, well, I say that, looking at the front of Dettige, I think is a bit out of place, a little bit. But yeah, they're both doing pretty well, and they haven't got anybody for company. Look, the gap's 9 seconds back to Javier Garcia in fourth, so it's not as if they're going to have to worry about any pending attack from him in the closing stages. So I think they can afford to do it. Here is one battle, though, that is currently ongoing. It's between Jeremy Hessels and Kobe Clace. This is over 5th place in the 4th place in the silver class.
yeah, that's good from Hessels. Just to stay in front through the Rettifilio. So often you take the place into there and then lose it so quickly again. BMW does have good slipstreaming capabilities, though. Clays is showing that. Just pulls slightly out to the right-hand side. Just about 6 inches or so, just so we can get a better view of the corner.
You probably wonder why there's so many BMWs racing in this field, because of it being so straight-line nature. But obviously, this series, you'd be expecting it to be one car for the whole season. And when you look at the calendar, you probably see some of these tracks being BMW circuits. We go to Zolder next week. Definitely not a power circuit at all.
I think that's a BMW circuit.
Yeah, Bathurst after that, then the Glen, and Sebring, then the Nürburgring, Road America, Brands Hatch, Suzuka, and then we go to
wide
season.
A little bit wide for Hessels. To Ascari, just went a little bit too deep. But yeah, I think Sebring's certainly not a power circuit, in my opinion. Oh, here we go, up the inside into Parabolica. Oh. Super close, wasn't it? Clay's just putting his nose in there. Now, what's he going to do? Hessels, is he going to defend the inside line? Over to the white line he goes. I think respectfully, Clays doesn't go any further over into the braking zone. How late can they be?
Don't
so about
move
100.
Oh, yeah.
Thought he was going to just drift a bit. Oh, very deep into the corner for Hessels. Made it work well, though. Made it work very well, actually. Great exit too.
Good job there. Good defensive driving. Can see that Van Outven in the bronze leader is.
Is there a move for second place, or is that the timing screen? Not second place. Sorry, fourth place. Is there a move there, or was that just me?
The gap is half a second, so it's getting there. There it is.
Yeah, I cannot trust this timing at the moment.
4 minutes to go. It's a 1 minute 46 laps, so you reckon we won't have too many more laps around here. But here is Mini Rossi, at least what it says on the back of his Mercedes. And if it's a Mini Rossi, what's the Mini Doctor going to prescribe here to get him a 4th place? With Van Buel, time to close in.
Let's have a look then. As Van Buel, who to me has driven a good race, really. And of course, he wasn't on pole, was he? That's my timing screen being silly. Yet again, of course, he wasn't on pole. He was 3rd or 4th or something in qualifying with Stein Van Buel. Arturo Alvarez is going along decently as well in 8th place. We've got to show him because he's leading the silver category. He's got a lead of it's about 8 seconds over Anton Dupin.
Here is Roy Ververke, who has been in the thick of the action, fighting away with Nick Sherman.
Oh, he's moving across. Nearly Max Verstappen him there.
Bruno in a World Touring Car race, Augusto Farfus moving across on Andy Brio, his teammate, and taking about half the field with him at the start of a race.
I'm Googling that.
John Clennon had plenty to say on that.
Something to do with the man's an animal.
Along those lines, I think it's something like, that was a piece of stupid driving, or something.
Something like John Watson.
The only accent I can do. 2 minutes to go. And the leaders have just crossed the line now, which means we'll get 2 more laps of this, you believe anyway. I think even my maths can work that out. So on to the penultimate lap, but this battle...
Oh dear, I've just seen it. Oh, that was a stupid one, dear me. I've just had a little look at that. That was that was into the first corner as well. That was a mess. So here we go. Hopley, Ververke. Oh, Hopley's done well there. He's done really well. Of course, he's fighting back, isn't he, from early mistake. He's not close enough into Parabolica, though. To be a turn 1 job here, because he's only going to get 1 chance in turn 1. As we are...
They'll be starting the penultimate lap here, I think.
Yeah,
these guys anyway.
I think they're going to make it, aren't they, for one more?
Yeah. Our leader is Varangton is just going into Mango next. Right? Yeah, this is pretty close.
Is he going to go for it? Yes! On the inside, is he going to take out the Merc? Oh no, the other one does! Verke was the one who actually braked at the right point, and yeah, he wasn't the one who took.
Welcome back, iRacers, to race 3 of the night from Road Atlanta for BSR Radical Thursday. Lee Thompson here with Alex Simpson. Yeah, just in a break there, if anyone was still watching so close to being able to see the end of the simultaneous broadcast at the end of the race there. So do go back and catch the end of that, see how that turned out. It looked like a rather entertaining finish, but time is up. Tristan Bodigen starting from pole positions with Kip Stevens in second, Matt Willett in third with Paul Crabb in fourth, Steve Hefford in sixth with Paul Denton in seventh, Kane Halliburton eighth with Jack Ashton in ninth, Sam Fitzpatrick then in 10th with Craig Williams in 11th, Nicole Foggy in 12th. I'll cut it there since the revs are building straight away. Here we go then, Tristan Bodic off to the start. A little bit of wheel spin but gets away cleanly. Second and third already side by side as they're coming into turn 1 again. And yeah, Bodic then hanging on, but Willett round the outside, going to get the drive as they come to the next corner. Cars off in the background further back, but nothing huge. Willett leading from Bodic, from Glatzel, from Stevens, and mostly getting through turn 3.
I think it was Fitzpatrick that was off, unfortunately, wide in turn 1. Got one driver had to retire. It's Lane O'Connor.
More cars off.
Oh, Lane, I've just fixed your details as well, and we're not going to be able to show it. Oh, that's a shame.
So Steve Hefford, Craig Williams looking pretty close. Cars ahead, spun and out. So who are we seeing falling? Glatzel, Bodic, Stevens falling as well. So that was our pole position sitter falling all the way back. We'll see a replay of that, no doubt, but that did not look too pretty on the entrance to turn 6.
Oh, too late.
So it looked like they just tagged each other on sort of mid-corner, just spinning both of them around, very synchronised. But that leaves Matt Willett in the lead, but Kane Halliburton in second, so he's going to be our favourite. But Willett's already got a 3-second gap, so if he can keep that going, he may well be looking pretty for a reasonable period of the race. Here we're seeing recovering, Steve Hefford recovering from an issue at the chicane.
To go straight into pits as well, so never good. But yeah, this is what I said at the end of race 1. You know, sometimes there can be a little bit of carnage go on the first lap, and you know, you can break away quite nicely, and that's exactly what Matt Willett's got right now. So just needs to head down, nice, clean, consistent laps, don't make any mistakes, and going to make it difficult for these guys to close up. Paul Crabb, we know, is pretty quick as well, so I feel like he'll be able to keep with Kane and at least maybe keep him occupied, looking back a little bit and not trying to push forward as well. So yeah, that's a really strong position here, I feel. Ashton, Paul Denton, Craig Williams, these guys are all so close.
Yeah, so as you say, Jack Ashton fighting hard as they go down the back straight with Paul Denton. Ashton going to have the outside for the chicane, Denton on the inside. Ashton has moved on, but outbrakes himself, runs over the inside. He's going to get a slowdown penalty there, I think, on the second part of the chicane, as the cars bunch up just behind as well. Craig sets up shot car, just slotting into the middle of that pack, and he's going to survive through the final corner, but gets boxed in. Oh, cuts across. Luckily the car on the inside was awake, and they just about sort themselves out into turn 1, and there we go. Williams takes that spot into turn 1. Oh, contact again.
That's Denton into the wall hard as well. Like I say, it can happen there so easy, unfortunately, if you are on the outside. There's no justification for it in a sense, but you just have to be aware that you turn in just a fraction earlier than the person on the inside, you're going to get spat off every time.
And just looking at the order, looks like Johnny Brandon had a little bit of a tough start as he hasn't managed to keep up with his teammate Nicole Foggy as he's working way through the field. So Johnny Brandon in 13th, whilst Nicole Foggy's gained 6 spots up into 6th position. So we can sort of see how the same group of cars will manage to jump places at the start. Gained 5, gained 6, gained 7 spots for Foggy, Williams, Ashton, Thompson. Yeah, they've all done well at the start. Ooh, XVR car, I thought going into the back of Ashton there, but no, just about got away.
Yeah, I thought for a moment it killed his run, but
Ashton, maybe got a slowdown penalty. He's suddenly dropped back, lost 4 spots.
Yeah, it had to be, didn't it? I wondered all of a sudden how Foggy got the run on Ashton, because he didn't get a very good exit, and yeah, it stopped me dead in my tracks. But that would make sense. 2.4 seconds is, well, 2.48. So, looking at lap times last time, a 1:16.1 against a 1:15.68. So it's about a half a second in it. So that gap is going to come down over the course of the race, and Crab definitely not able to keep right with Kane. But yeah, I feel like not going to be easy for Kane just to breeze past Wallet here. Lap time's looking pretty good, so I would imagine, looking at the slipstream they're getting, there's a half a second available in that back straight on slipstream, so going to be able to drive away, but definitely going to get there, that's for sure.
And Williams and McIntyre side by side. There we go. Williams gets the inside for the second part of the chicane. McIntyre, too much curve on exit, unfortunately. Lose all his momentum and sideways over the crest. Just about holds on to it. Ashton's going to have a run on him down the front straight. Is he going to stick his nose into turn 1? He might well do. No, Ashton decides that there's no rush and he just hangs behind for now. So yeah, McIntyre very lucky to gather it up as the car stepped out on the crest through turn 11. McIntyre looking like he's the man on the move though. He's all over back of Williams all of a sudden as they come through turn 5. He's going to have a look into turn 6, I think. So Williams defending. Ashton is going to try and drive straight around the outside of him. Williams able to use the camber of turn 6, so just to drive off it nice and cleanly.
Cheeky little wiggle.
Yeah, absolutely. McIntyre, good exit, I think. And he's got all the slipstream available. Williams has nobody ahead to drag him along. Be interesting to see how much Ashton closes through here as well, as McIntyre moves to the outside straight away. He's going to drive straight past Williams before even the braking zone. Is Ashton going to appear in shot? There we go. Ashton has a little look at the inside, but nothing doing. McIntyre outbrakes himself. Slowdown penalty coming for cutting the inside of the second part of the chicane. He's going to lose even more positions there. That was a shame because the move was done halfway down straight.
Yeah, it was. So just I don't know if he was looking behind or whatnot. I thought maybe somebody was going to try and sneak through. Ashton did get a good run, of course, but I mean that was enough of a distraction. But yeah, well, can't afford to do that. The gap at the front down to 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, so Halliburton 7/10 quicker last time by. Woolett's been pretty consistent, you know, low 16s each time. He's running a strong pace for sure. But Halliburton, as we said, you know, on outright pace, one of the top, 3-4 guys in the series. So it's a tough one to ask. Paul Crabb still a second behind, as you said before, but now got under pressure from Nicole Foggy. Foggy's going to be lining up a move now into the farm chicane. What a view we're going to have of Crabb ahead, then Halliburton, and then Willett we can see in the distance through the rear wing. Crabb goes inside, Foggy goes outside. I think it's going to be another one of Foggy having got the position before the braking zone. Let's have a look if the Crabb appears on our inside. Foggy takes the inside line, takes the apex rather, and gets through cleanly. And is only a second behind Halliburton himself now.
A little bump on the exit there, isn't there, on the inside curb? And yeah, one thing I know, the Radicals doesn't like its bumps, does it, that much?
No, especially fixed setup, so you're not able to dial it out for your own driving style. Very, very stiffly sprung, these cars, and like I say, if it starts to go, you're in the lap of the gods really as to whether you're going to be able to gather it back up and not continue the tank slap of Halliburton all over the back of Willett through the S's. He's going to be getting the move done very quickly. He knows that he can't take too long about it either, because Foggy, you can see in his mirrors, is on his way. Yeah,
you're right. He needs to get by. He needs to get by this lap, and he needs to try and build about a 1.5 second gap so that he's outside of that draft. We know that these guys are pretty even on pace based on the first race, So no damage for Kane this time as well. So I think that really was hindering him big time. Here he goes then to the inside, which will become the outside. But cleanly through. Gonna get it done. Just needs to get the braking right. Does Willett have another little look up the inside? No, he doesn't. But Foggy closes in massively under braking. Poor exit from Willett. That's going to probably give Foggy a run into turn 1. Although Foggy somehow lost a little bit of momentum there as well.
Yeah, it looked like Willett was very, very slow, sort of mid-corner of the second part of the chicane there. So whether he just had a bit of a wiggle and had to get off the power earlier than expected. But all of a sudden, 4-car train for the lead, 5-second gap into the cars behind, and as you say, Foggy needs to get straight past, just as we were saying Halliburton did the lap earlier, if he wants any chance of reining Halliburton in the remaining 10 minutes. Oh, will it? Oh,
no! Oh, I thought that was gone. It looked gone. He saved it. You were like, oh, he's got it, and then it went again. Somehow, you managed to say that is impressive.
Yeah, good job there, holding that together on the crest there. So tricky. It's so bumpy. You're trying to gather it up, and you're getting hit by new bumps as well. Good example as to how sensitive this Radical is on those rear tyres as well. The only reason he spun again was because of that overheating, I would say, on the first step out. So done well to save it, but he's dropped down to 3rd spot, going to be under pressure from Paul Crabb.
Yeah, James McRitchie, if you've been watching the BSR MX5 Cup on Tuesday, be familiar with James, really coming along strong in that series, and got himself, I want to say he got himself his a win on Tuesday, so quite a different car into the old Radical, but yeah, doing a reasonable job. Good to see drivers swapping over from series to series. Johnny Brandon up and into 8th place in this little gaggle and pack, so it's yeah, quite an interesting little battle. The lead, we might have to swap back to that. That's getting pretty close, but right now we'll just stick with this little battle and give the midfield some love for a moment.
Yeah, so this battle for 6th position is looking like McIntyre is going to be one to make a move. Brandon struggling, gathers it up just about. Again, just got loose over the crest on turn 5. Very lucky to keep it out of the wall. Lost himself, 3 spots. And yeah, Jack McIntyre, as I said, I think he's going to be looking to make a move with Williams again any time soon.
Here we go then for the lead.
Foggy just drives straight past him. Is Halliburton going to have a big dive up the inside? He doesn't, just tucks in.
Behind,
and yeah, looked very, very close, but Willett gave Crabb the space there, so Crabb got through pretty cleanly in the end. Willett slotting down into 4th. Surprised at how quickly Foggy managed to close on that last lap. You know, he was second behind when we cut away, and all of a sudden then he was 2/10. So let's see if Halliburton can hang with him, and whether they can keep on the black stuff.
Of course,
a different line there as well going through turn 3.
Of course, importantly, he was still within the draft, wasn't he? He was able to use that to catch up. This is why we were saying it was so important for him to get about a 1.5 second lead, so that there was that draft wasn't going to be an advantage for Foggy. But yeah, he used it well. We've got 8 minutes of the race to go. Based on, like I say, what happened in race 1, where these 2 drivers had very clean cars, there was not a lot between them. So I don't think we're going to see a clean. Yeah, just look like he missed the gear. That's the only way I can do it. Didn't describe it, but yeah.
No, didn't see the car step out at all. So as you say, it looked like just didn't get going. McIntyre got that 6th spot over Craig Williams whilst we've been away. Here comes Foggy back on Halliburton. Then Halliburton is going to be able to hang on this time on the inside. Foggy going to try and stay onto the next inside. Oh, way too much curve though for Foggy. Gets away with it. A bit slow on exit. Halliburton was a little bit cautious as well, I think. Foggy takes the position. Halliburton has to slot in behind on the final corner.
That shows you what the draft is like there. Sorry guys, I just need to switch to see this because there's cars literally side by side everywhere in this mid-pack.
Yeah, McIntyre and Williams as well. Williams coming back at McIntyre for that 6th spot. Looks very, very tight on the final corner. Who's got it? Williams looks like he's going to have that spot into turn 1, but it's going to be 3 cars. Where's Webster suddenly come from there? 3 wide through turn 1. McIntyre almost got hung out on the outside, but just about managed to hang on to the edge of the track. Webster spinning, took a bit of curb on the entrance to turn 3, and then lost it in the middle of turn 4.
Yeah, I think That sounded like someone else sideways as well. I think it was McIntyre.
Yeah,
it's rolling backwards. And who was that around? Is that
Williams? No, Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah, so a couple of cars involved there as well. So all of a sudden, big change in that pack, and we've still got this battle going on at the front as well.
And perfect timing, back onto the back straight again. Halliburton on the outside this time, Foggy on the inside. Foggy actually a little bit more cautious on brakes, but maybe Halliburton outbraked himself. Actually, we saw how wide he went mid-chicane, lost all of his apex speed, and Foggy able to just drive straight back around him again. So yeah, Halliburton tried hard there, but just 5 meters too deep on the brakes. Yeah, so unfortunate for McRitchie there, because he was pushing hard and had made some good spots, and yeah, unfortunately then just that issue took. Sorry, not McRitchie, McIntyre. Sorry, the two Mcs.
Yep.
Unfortunate for McIntyre there. Yeah, he was moving through the field well.
Yeah, Webster as well. I mean, Webster's still up 12 places. Right? Ritchie up 10, and Macaulay up 12. So yeah, we've got some good movers out there. Yeah, I think
including our race leader up 11.
Yeah,
spots.
up 11. So you just always ignore Nicole, because you know he's going to be in double.
Crab had an issue there going onto the back straight. Yeah, well sideways mid to exit on turn 7, and that's allowed Willett to come back at him. It looked like Crab was going to be dropping back. The leaders back side by side as well. Again, Halliburton and Foggy, as we watch Willett and Crab do the same. Crab takes it inside. Willett hanging on to the outside. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? Pretty even, but Crab got the position, got the line, and Willett maybe a bit cautious on turning.
Wow, problem for Foggy in that as well. We're going to need to look at that back on a replay, because all of a sudden Foggy's 2 seconds back. So let's just see exactly what happened with their little battle.
So Foggy on the inside is it on the brakes, and Halliburton gives him the space initially. Maybe then, yeah, it is half one, six of the other. I think half of one, six of the other.
That's all fair in my book, I say.
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah, didn't actually hit him. I mean, that was probably on Foggy running up. Making sure that he didn't do it, but yeah.
No, initially I thought initially maybe Halliburton came back to the left slightly more than he needed to for that second part of chicane, but you've got to try and come back towards the racing line a little bit at some point and save us plenty of space still.
So we're 1.3 seconds is that gap, so we'll keep an eye, see how quickly that comes down. Right, so you're thinking that's outside the draft now?
I'm thinking there is some draft, but it's that trail off effect at that point. I think, like I say, 1 second is where it's really going to kick in, but we can see he's gained 10.5 down that straight.
Yeah, I can see it on the live timing as well. 2K difference. Looking at our live timing data, so not a huge amount, but yeah, still something. Everything else
really
seems to have died down as well, hasn't it? This is just it, really, apart from the leaders.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, really up to Halliburton to nail these next couple of laps to not allow Foggy, as you say, to close that last little bit he needs for that draft effect really to kick in. Willett and Crab still looking pretty close, just 3 tenths behind though. Willett maybe has a slow corner. I just see him lose 2 tenths in the space of a second or so. Otherwise, as we saw a minute ago, Brandon and McRitchie could well continue to develop. So yeah, this race is really broken apart into these little small pairings now, as we see Brandon looking at the back of McRitchie, but Brandon going very slowly. Must have got a slowdown or something maybe. He's suddenly dropped half a second plus.
Yeah, had to be. Right, I wonder if you could take us on board. We'll go on to the actual cockpit. It's not something we do very, very often for a lap around here. You've done a track guide, thank you very much for that. But yeah, let's do a live race one.
Alright, so here we are then into the final chicane, down into second gear to take loads of curb on the inside. Not quite so much in the second part, but let the car run wide. This crest here is so tricky, and Radical wants to step out. We've got to straighten the steering earlier than you may think. Flat through the final corner, and here we are chasing after Halliburton still. Turn 1 coming up, dab down 1 gear, allow the car to run to the inside. Actually, Foggy went down 2 gears there, so there you go, different to what I was doing. Down into second gear. For turn 3, running over the curbs as well. He's gained a little bit on Halliburton since we started the lap. Flat through the S's. Here's this tricky turn 5. So bumpy. Up over this crest. See how much curb we take on exit as well, as we take a little bit of grass with it. Also gained another 10th or so just there. Turn 6. little bit of, or quite a lot of camber, sorry, on the corner, so you can really throw the car in and just hold it on the inside. I found turn 7 super tricky to get stopped aggressively enough, but get the line to get the drive onto the longest straight on the circuit. Not gained any time at all on Halliburton that time around. Completely flat, then all the way till we get back to the farm chicane. And it's such a quick entry into the chicane here, even though it's second gear. You come off the brakes quite early and just let it roll in. Halliburton's got sideways on turning as well and drifts it through the corner beautifully. We gained a 10th, just maybe due to Halliburton's just slight aggressiveness going on.
One more lap to go then. Looking like, yeah, clean lap from Halliburton and he'll be alright. He'll win this one, but I don't want to curse him too much. So, well, probably too late.
And Willett's very, very close to Crab again, just a couple of attempts. So he hasn't given up that fight for what, of course, is a final podium spot. So he's going to want to hang in there, having only lost 1 spot from his starting position. Kip Stevens looking pretty close to Webster as well, just a couple of attempts.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those ones. I think
we
more
see,
than anything.
Yeah, damage on the back of Webster's car as well.
With a second then.
Oh, wow.
There's a bit of draft ahead as well, I think. So I think well, it's going to be okay. But going to be any change, I think this is the one that's going to happen.
Yeah, here we go.
Crab
got the run. So Crab holding the centre of the track, pushing Willett to what is going to be the outside for the chicane. Not going to get the overlap completely, so Crab can be late on the brakes and try and hold that inside. He is. A little bit of locking from Willett. Can they both get it stopped?
Away, sorry. The leader comes across the line. We'll see how that ended up. A great job from Halliburton, and we rejoin that back, and it's Crab that's going to get it. Yeah, like you say, that just that lock-up, wasn't it, from Willett there, really? Just, yeah, killed him. McRitchie and Brandon, all very close. And then we had this Kip Stevens and Dan Webster battle as well. Never really formed up on the final lap. Kip comes across, takes it to 10. Be happy with that.
Yeah, so good race again. Quite different from the previous 2, where it broke up halfway through into these little pairings. There's a shame we didn't quite get to see the real finish from Halliburton and Foggy going toe to toe. But nonetheless, Halliburton prevents Nicole Foggy from getting another win.
Indeed, good, 3 good winners, I think, tonight. Actually, yeah, they had to work for it, every single one. You know, Nicole didn't have it easy in the first race, did he at all? Thompson, you know, held off the 2 XVR guys with some great defending in that second race, and then that one just there as well. So yeah, Kane, he had to work hard for that to get to the front and then to hold off Nicole. So yeah, good racing out there.
Yeah, and a great points haul, of course, for Foggy then this week. First, second, and second for the 3 races tonight. Can't get much closer to what you'd hope from a night's racing, especially with a reverse grid.
Yeah, indeed. Just as a reminder to everybody as well, if you've enjoyed the broadcast tonight, just hit that like button, give us some thumbs up. It's always good to see you guys giving us some appreciation. Let us know that we're doing a good job. Hopefully, yeah, we had less issues than last week, and yeah, I think still some paints that are missing and things like that. So hopefully you guys got the message that, you know, get it on Trading Paints. We'll get it there for get it up for the next week. And I think there was a couple of people in the chat tonight just letting us know about team changes and bits and bobs like that. So again, if there's any of that, just drop me a PM on Facebook. I'll update the project file for the next week. Hopefully we'll get that all up to date. But yeah, definitely three good races. Much appreciate the support from you guys. Give us that thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber of Apex Racing TV, well, then subscribe to the channel as well. You know, if you really love us, hit the bell symbol as well. You'll be notified every time we book a broadcast.
That'll be a lot of bells.
Yeah, well, actually, I think there was a question that come on and goes that asked if we were live every day, and we're not live every day. We have Friday off. That's the only day we have off. And how many nights are we live with 2 broadcasts at once now? I think is it. Are we Monday, Thursday, and possibly when the F3 Championship starts, probably Wednesday as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are busy bees here at Apex Racing TV.
points.
Technically, we have 3 on Monday, don't we, with the Rick Matek one? But
yep, not simultaneous. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyone wants to come for an interview, by all means, jump into Discord as well. We are in comms channel 2, so head your way to interview waiting area 2. We'll drag you up and have a quick little chat with you as well. Nice to see some of the guys come in and say hello. But yeah, if not, well, we'll wrap up the show. Josh Thompson can never fail. Josh is always around for a quick little chat. Josh, hello.
Hello.
Well, race number 2. Let's talk about that one. I think that was a good race. Come through the pack. Some great defensive driving as well. Really good on brakes. Made some good overtakes. And yeah, nice win.
Yeah, I'm surprised really. I'm not managed to get a win at all in this series. I've been really struggling with the car, but obviously because the fixed one, you can't really do anything about it. So you have to just drive around it. Lucky enough, this track it's more of a driver track, so I think that bailed me out a little bit in race 2. Could use my strong points such as braking and defending, and yeah, managed to finally get that win.
Yeah, oh, well, I didn't know it was the first win in the series, so congrats on that. Yeah, I mean, what happened in race 3? We sort of caught the tail end of the accident coming off of the S's when there was a couple of cars around. We didn't exactly see what happened there. Yeah,
it's on the left. Like GT and stuff like you usually run the right-hand side curb to flick the car in. I did that, it bounced the car wide, hit the bump, put my foot in a little bit too much, and it just half spun, corrected, and then it's half spun straight away again into the wall. It's such an easy mistake. Like, the car was so sensitive through that corner. Like, everyone was saying about it. So, I knew it was going to probably happen. I had a few big moments through there in the race. One lap, I nearly went head first into the wall. One lap, just by missing the braking point in it. So, a bit of a shame, but lucky enough, the team had 3 drivers already within the top 12 at that point. So even though I dropped out, we might have lost a few points, we still had 3 drivers who were comfortably inside.
Good show. Where are we at next week? I haven't had a chance to look it up, and very ill prepared.
I have no idea.
Suzuka GP.
Ah, it is Suzuka, isn't it? Yes.
Ooh.
Well, actually, do you know what? I think that'll be a great circuit for this car.
Oh yeah, through the S's, it'll be ridiculous. It'll be like one of the most fun cars you can drive around it.
Just seeing a replay of the start, all the shenanigans going on. I mean, how have you found obviously I'm jumping into the series. This is my first night watching. Didn't look too bad out there, to be fair. What's your view on the series been so far?
I'd probably say tonight was the best performance I felt driving standards wise. Obviously, I think it's one of those cars. It's very hard to race if you're not sure on if you've not done many laps in the car. Me and Foggy proved that in like week 13, you can have a good race with 3 people. With me, him, and Adoka. So you don't need many people to have a good race. And I think what was happening was there's such a pace difference between drivers with the car. I think it caught a lot of people out at the start of the season. So this is the first one I've done in 3 weeks. Last time I drove, there was 50-something cars. Tonight was 30. It just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, just a bit more space out there, isn't there? And
yeah, exactly.
I think you're right. And like you say, this kind of reminds me very much like the Formula Renault series to a degree. There was such a huge pace difference at the start of the season, and people were tripping over each other left, right and centre, especially when the reverse grids kicked in. So it doesn't surprise me that you sort of give it that sort of thought. So, okay. Well, congrats again for the win, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Suzuka. And all the best of luck for that one. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, let's bring him in. Our co-commentator, colleague here at Apex Racing TV, Sam Fitzpatrick. Had some good races and had some bad races today.
Yes.
Overall, though, I think you'd have been happy with race number 2. That looked like that was a lot of fun. You were right in the thick of it all race long. And unfortunate race 3, you just got run out wide in turn 1 and drifted all the way to the back.
Yeah, a bit frustrating, that one. It wasn't even as though I was pushed out. Completely my mistake. Just got on a bump and overcorrected it. Fortunate not to get in a wall in the end. So yeah, a bit disappointed with race 3. Race 1, clutch wasn't working, so I accidentally got a jump start. Had to have a drive through penalty. That ruined that one. But yeah, race 2 was good fun. And you know, those guys were fighting so hard, it gave me half a chance of mixing it with them, which was good. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong in the car, but they always seem to have about half a second on me. But you know, it's still always good to be kind of like best of the rest and still accumulating those points. You know, 3 finishes is never too bad.
Well, you don't need to win some of the series. You know, just good consistent finish can get you right up there as well. So, you know, I speak from a bit of experience of that with my Pro Series championship. Of course, never won a race and still took the championship. So, got to keep plugging those results in. So keep doing that, and I'm sure you'll be right up there come the end of the season.
Yeah, well, currently I think I'm second in the championship. Johnny's just ahead of me. Of course, with drop weeks, I think Nicole gets in there as well. It seems to be. I think those 2 are the big favourites, to be honest. But I'll keep sticking around, I guess. And Bathurst as well is no drop rounds, so you know, hopefully they'll. Well, I say hopefully. You know, please guys, I'll put some putts on the circuit or something down the mountain, and maybe they'll have a bit of a contact with the wall, and I'll benefit from it. But no, it's been a great race in this series, and such high quality opposition as well. So just to be, you know, 4th, 5th. You know, thereabouts is always good.
Awesome stuff. Right. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go, mate?
Yeah, thanks to the guys at Apex Racing Academy. We're like 4th in the championship or something, which is really cool, seeing that we just drafted the team right at the start of the season. Thanks to Pitstone Motorsport as well. We won a race at Daytona earlier on on Sunday, so that was really good fun. So yeah, and thanks to Apex Racing TV, and check out the Euro V8s on Saturday evening, so looking forward to that one.
Well, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, all the best, and yeah, we'll catch you next week.
Yep, thanks.
Right then, Lee. Well, this is done. I'm pretty happy with that first meet. I think this is going to be an enjoyable little series to commentate on.
Yeah, it's getting better and better as we go through. Like Josh was alluding to, you know, we had a few problems maybe at the start of the season with some huge accidents. Really, you know, we had half the field to go in a fair few races, but these last 2-3 weeks have been looking much more promising. And like I say, Suzuka next week. I mean, that's I'm definitely doing a hot lap video for Suzuka next week, just so I can drive this car on that circuit. That's going to be a lot of fun, as long as the fixed setup is compliant. So we shall see. But yeah, looking forward to that, as you say.
Awesome. Right, well, thanks very much, mate. I'll wrap the show up here as well, and just once again, just ask everyone to hit that thumbs up, like the channel, do all that goodness with the social media, share it on Facebook and things like that. Let's get some eyes on the series as well, because actually it has been a lot of fun tonight, and yeah, we do with getting a bit of a following for it. But for myself, Alex Gibson, and from Lee Thompson, and we wish you a good night, and we'll see you at Suzuka in 1 week's time.